The next thing to do on this flyer is to select the remaining 4 paragraphs. Now, to select the remaining 4 paragraphs, you could do it in different ways. One way would be to point to the outside in the margins area, and if you click at the first line, you can then drag it down while holding the click on the mouse. Okay, you keep on holding the mouse and then select all the text. That's one way. Okay, I'm going to deselect. Another way that I like to use is to point at the beginning of the word that you would like to select. Once you see the cursor blinking there, you then hold the shift key down on the keyboard and then move the pointer of the mouse and click where you want it to end. So that's another way of selecting different sections of text within your document. For this particular section of the flyer, we want to make the text size to be 22 points. For this, I'm going to use the mini toolbar. So if I go over here, I can then pick 22 points. Now I'm going to click anywhere in my document to deselect the text. I'm going to scroll down my paper so I get to see the lines that I just changed the size of. The next thing that we need to do is to make the text starting at this line and ending with this line, to make that bulleted. So I'm going to select from here to here, and then I'm going to ask for bullets. Now, bullets is something that you do to a paragraph. So I will need to go to the Home tab and then look for paragraph, and indeed right at the very beginning here I see an icon that says bullets. If I click the little picture right here, it will give me whatever default bullet is on this computer, which will most likely be a round bullet. So let me give it a try. So it gives me a rounded bullet. Now, if I don't want that bullet, I can always turn it off. If I want a different bullet, I can click the arrow next to bullets, and then I can pick a bullet that was used sometime in the past, or I can go and define my own different bullet. So right now I'm just going to keep this as the default. If after a while, once you continued typing and did some more work, if you decide that you don't like these bullets, you can always come back, select the text, and change the bullet. Now, if you just added the bullets and you change your mind, you can also ask Microsoft Word to allow you to undo. Undo allows you to cancel the last action that you performed. So in this case, since the last action that we performed was to change the bullets, I can always go right here in the quick access toolbar to click undo. So if I click undo, it puts it back in a work without bullets. So let me put the bullets back in there. Now I could click in here bullets, or I could say redo, which is the curly right pointing arrow in the quick access toolbar. The next thing that I need to do is to make the word Bailey in here italicized. So I'm going to click at the word Bailey. Now anytime that the cursor is inside a word and you ask for a feature that has to do with the font, it knows that it's that one word that you would like to change. So since the cursor is already inside this word, if I click the I for italics, it makes that word italicized. Now I'm going to deselect it, so it's back to normal. Now I can also give the same order through the keyboard. I can do Control I, and Control I means make it bold. Sorry, make it italic. I would also like to change the color of the font in this word. So now again I go to font. Okay. I go to font color. I'm gonna click the drop down arrow, and I'm gonna pick the one in here called Blue Accent 1 Darker 25%. Next we would like to do some change. It selects the whole line. Notice again that very faint I see the mini toolbar in here. So as I come closer to the mini toolbar, it gets darker. Now I would like to make the size of the text to be 28 points. So I'm going to pick 28. I would also like to change the color of the font. So now I'm going to go to font color, and I'm going to pick the third on the bottom row, the third from the right to the left.